I got to tell you, I haven't done that in a minute, and it hurt. Welcome back to Tech Circuit, the podcast where we talk about video games, PC news, tech, all things electronic and exciting. My name's Ben Tibbles. With me, as always, is the magnanimous David Lee. How are you? And that was our theme song, Amber Mountain Region by DJX Sub N.
All right, and this week we'll be talking about the best handheld OS, Google's new Flow with our product spotlight, gaming in RNG, and our user circuit. We found out the problem was Windows all along.
What?
Yeah.
Windows was causing problems? I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah, back in like the 2010s, like Windows always caused problems for like laptops, and I think for any mobile devices, like Windows is just a headache on like tablets, phones, and so now it's handhelds.
Windows just continues to be a problem wherever it goes. Bring back XP. Windows XP, the most popular version of all time. Like, there are still PCs out there running Windows XP. I digress. Okay, so what's the solution?
SteamOS. We found that out recently when they released it for the new handhelds.
Okay, so the new handhelds, Steam has its own native operating system, and it's better?
It's running, I think, about 5 to 10% better. There was some tech YouTuber called Dave2D. Love you, man. And he posted his results, and people are like dying to test them out. And I am very excited because, I thought when I held my friend's Windows handheld, like it was kind of clunky. It didn't feel right. And so I think streamlining the whole operation through SteamOS is going to be definitely like so much better.
Okay. Do we know, so we get better frame rates, better battery life, improved user interface, which is great. SteamOS lets you sleep your console?
Yeah, so when Windows would sleep your console, it would just keep running in the background at like almost full battery power, apparently. And I was like, that's not right.
That's not sleep.
That's not sleep. I remember this old Linus Tech Tips video where Windows laptops kind of did the same thing, and now it's like carried on to handheld gaming. But with SteamOS, it'll actually shut your console almost off and have true sleep mode, which is also
yeah, that's almost like false advertising. If you're saying it's a sleep mode, but it's basically running at full power, you're still draining the battery at the same rate. So you may as well, you'd be better off turning it off, but you won't know that unless you do the research, right?
Right.
Craziness. Okay. What do you guys think? Is handheld gaming mainstream? Is this new OS a foretelling of things to come? Is there going to be more of this, more individual OSs, or do you think maybe other handheld devices will license the Steam OS?
Yeah, I think that's the route they're going for.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think like any optimization we get for the Steam OS and handheld gaming is completely necessary because it's running on like mobile chipsets, which are already weak in and of itself.
Sure. I guess so. We have the question here: is handheld gaming mainstream? Here, my take is, especially now with things like the Steam Deck, with things like the Switch, and now the Switch 2 coming out, and we've had Vitas and PSPs and things like that in the past. We've had other competitors. There's the MSI Claw out there, so mobile gaming is becoming more available. But are people adopting? Let us know out there if you have one of these mobile gaming solutions. I know one of my friends loves his Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think something that I was just talking to a friend like 30 minutes ago was we realized like we don't really consider it, but the Switch is actually, handheld. And so and it's sold out like everywhere for the Switch too, right? I think it's mainstream.
I think that specific niche is definitely mainstream. I think it's kind of baked into the console. I don't know how much the portability of the Switch is the selling factor for most people. Tell me if it was for you. Did you buy a Switch specifically because you could mobile game with it, or did you buy a Switch so you could play Mario Kart and the Switch just happens to have the added feature of being portable. Because for myself, I definitely bought the Switch so I could play Mario Party, so I could play the next Mario Kart, so I could play, The Legend of Zelda and things like that. The fact that it was handheld was great. I took it when I was working auto shows for Mazda, Zoom Zoom. I would take it with me everywhere. I played Skyrim on the Switch, which, by the way, don't play it on anything else. But so I loved the fact that it was portable, but I don't know that I bought it because it's portable, right? Which I guess is intention versus effect, right? Or impact, because regardless of whether or not people are buying it because it's portable, they still bought it. The Switch sold like crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think most people would just rather play on their phones than take a handheld gaming, like to the train or to the bus or something.
Yeah, and I think the Switch was also beset with problems, especially with stick drift and things like that. So it could have even had the impact of turning certain people off of mobile gaming because they're like, well, heck, if my Joy Cons only last a couple weeks, and then even the case that I carried my Switch in would impact stick drift, and it's like, what am I gonna do? Just like let it sit free in my like backpack? No, I gotta have like a case on it. I digress. Let us know what you think. Is handheld gaming, excuse me, because that's different. Is handheld gaming mainstream? Is that a mainstream thing, or is it still a niche segment of gaming? I want to hear from you. But no, definitely we should discuss mobile gaming. And we have to a degree because of was it the Blizzard contract, or the Blizzard
Yeah.
bidding war? A lot of those developers are mobile game developers by trade, and this was kind of a new foray for some of them. So yeah, no, like definitely. And let us know out there, to what degree do you mobile game? Because I go through phases, right? Whether it's Pokemon Go or whether it's the Monster Hunter version of Pokemon Go, or I'll every once in a while I'll get suckered into one of those ad games that's like, get the best zombies to defend your tower from the other zombies. It's like, oh, we'll get those zombies. But just so our viewers should know, there are apps that are slot machine or poker or blackjack or any of that, and you can't win actual money on them, but what you can get are loyalty points, and then those loyalty points can be traded in for coupons for like buy one get one drinks at Caesar's Palace.
Oh
Or if
my.
you have enough, it's like bet 25, get an extra 50.
Oh my.
Like crazy deals like that. So if you go to Vegas, if you like going to Vegas, if you have a Vegas trip coming up, download these apps and just make sure to play them all a little bit every day, because they're all connected and you'll get one lump sum of these loyalty points to use among. That's what we do every year before CES. We get it, and we just like let the game run on auto mode all day in the background while we work, because then we're
Wow.
just getting those points, and then we got a bunch of free stuff in Vegas. So boo, if you're gonna see us at CES next year, I'm gonna check your phone. I'm gonna make sure you did these apps, because it only makes sense. It's only smart. I'm probably blowing Tin's ears out right now. Passionate. Okay, Google Flow. Boo. Flow and VO3. What is it?
So Flow is the suite that lets you use VEO3 or VEO3, I don't know. And to have a filmmaking entire like set in front of you right at your fingertips, where you can have an entire movie with just a little prompt.
So you can generate actual just little like entire videos from a simple prompt. That's crazy.
Yeah. So the video is playing back there on the screen, but it was incredible. It looked high definition. It didn't look very AI unless you gave it some incredible prompt. And you could have it all at your fingertips for just $245 or $49, excuse me, a month, which I thought was a crazy price. But you can't make long videos with
Yeah.
it, right? The continuous format is a little difficult for it. There are limitations, but instead of hiring an entire film crew and like sound and music, you could just do it all by yourself for like $250.
It's powerful. It has limitations. those limitations are sure to expand in the future, but currently there's no way. I mean, you could theoretically you could make several small videos and stitch them together, but would you be able to create a narrative? It might be difficult,
Yeah.
things like that. Would you be able to create, sizzle reels of different things happening, montages? Absolutely. It seems like a great tool for that. However, $250 a month isn't a light expense. Maybe for a business, for a corporation, that sort of thing. Um, but you have to remember that also there's still a human generating these, right? There's still a human generating them, curating them, editing them. At the end of the day, you still need that human team that goes in and takes this
Yeah.
like admittedly impressive content and turns it into something that is worth watching. I just realized that that's fine. Good for them. So an incredibly powerful tool. I understand both sides. AI is a tool. To ignore it would be silly. Like you're not going to stop the use of AI. It's just not going to happen. It's too powerful. That would have been like trying to stop the internet. You're not going to succeed in that. What can be done is you can start regulating it and trying to make it something that is fair and is a tool, because at the end of the day, AI is powerful, but it's only going to generate what you tell it to generate. It's not going to, and even if you want to say let AI develop my entire content schedule, you need to be the one to say I need you to make my content schedule. It needs to do this and this, or you don't and you just get what you get. But it takes a person with a skill set to generate AI results the way you want them. So at the end of the day, a different type of artist, but perhaps still an artist.
Yeah.
Maybe an artist who's a little closer to an engineer, but that's been true of a lot of art for a while now.
Still rolling because I
Yeah.
something I think all of that is absolutely really on the point. We have to be the ones to utilize AI and kind of shift our dynamic and shift a lot of the things that you said. Like we're not going to stop the advent of AI, like the internet,
Yeah.
or like the advent of cars and all the horse carriages. People just like lost their jobs.
Yeah.
What I would love to see in the future is an AI that can like make a video game for you
Mm.
and have NPCs that you just talk to as AI and have real conversations in the middle of the game.
Well, I got to tell you, like, I I imagine that is not too far away. Um, there, we just wrote a script for NVIDIA that is covering NIM microservices and AI blueprints, and it's a pretty incredible combo that you can utilize with with NVIDIA GPUs. But basically, NIM microservices are individual AI models that you can run locally, but they're completely prepackaged, right? They're all you do is download it and now you got it. You can use it. Um, and then you can use AI blueprints to link those NIM microservices together with other apps and programs to create workflows that just automatically do things for you.
Oh,
Um, one of the examples that they give is you can go in and you can give it a bunch of text documents and you can say, hey, generate a podcast out of this material with two hosts that have a conversation. And through that conversation, teach me what's in this document. And then at the end of that podcast, you can go in and talk to them. You can ask them questions. And I think you can even do it vocally. You can just have a conversation with them. So we're right there. And it depends on the level of video game programming you're talking about, because I've written small, mobile games in a language called Ink that is text based. So it's all like choose your own adventure text based style
yeah.
gaming.
I've played a few of those.
Yeah, they're fun, right? Like around the world in 80 days. It's a very accessible programming language, and there's a program out there called Inkly that makes it even more simple. If you're interested in it, I highly recommend it. But ChatGPT knows ink. You can just say like, "Hey, I need your help making an ink game that is about this long, has this plot. and these plot points. And, through a series of back and forths with Chat GPT, you can generate the script. And theoretically, I haven't tested it, but theoretically, that script should run in ink. And now you have a game. The
Yeah.
only thing you don't have is art or animation or anything like that. But it's getting to the point where AI can do that. It's still not perfect, but again, there's no technology that was perfect when it was first introduced to the public. Nothing. Names the printing press. Haha, you joker. I don't know. No. AI flow. What do you think? What do you think about AI flow? What do you think about the AI explosion that we're going through right now? We're seeing it everywhere. It's integrated into everything. It's all that everyone's at Computex. That's all we saw was AI PC, AI laptop, AI this, AI components, AI everything. So like, and we just did a video. It's Seagate brand day just ended by the time this releases, and they have a hard drive called the Skyhawk AI, and it's designed for surveillance. It's designed for video surveillance, but it has onboard AI theoretically, and my guess is that it's intelligent about what footage it keeps and what it deletes, but I haven't researched it that deeply yet. But AI's in everything. So let us know what you think. I know Razir had a great point a few weeks ago that AI can do a lot of art, but AI can't make you a sandwich yet.
Oh.
Yet. Yet. That's it. Like yet, because it will. Like we have robots out there now. I was at CES. I saw the NVIDIA robots like running a convenience store. Like it's coming. It will happen. Like AI is coming for everything. So let's not go down that rabbit hole, because then we'll get into my beliefs about capitalism. All right, everybody. By the time this releases, Nightreign will have been live for a few days, right? It's going live tonight as we record this. So first of all, tell us what you think. I want to know what you think about Nightreign. I still haven't had the chance to actually play it. I'm so excited. I'm probably going to go home and download it immediately. What do you think?
I'm watching all my friends play for the first time, and it is so enjoyable because they like to play drunk. And this is not a game you want to play drunk.
I don't know. I bet I'd enjoy it. But we still have a discount for you. I don't know if will this be active next week?
Yeah, it'll be active until the
Amazing. So we still have a discount available for you. 15% off of the standard edition of Elden Ring Nightreign, only at Newegg. So you'll see we'll have a link in the description so you can go to it and buy it directly there. But go check it out. If you haven't bought it already, you can save 15% off. Currently, as we record this, we have 10% off the deluxe edition. I don't know if that's going to continue into next week, but check it out if you are interested in the deluxe edition. Make sure to check that out on newegg.com. If it has the discount still, I'll link that too.
Oh yeah. Dude, I am so stoked. The Elden Ring, the first one was just beautiful. My friends still sing praises about it. Like, this is the game you do not want to miss, guys.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
But don't, because the Golden Order is evil. Wicked. There's only one true ending. Everybody, we do have another deal, and this one is specifically for Dad's Day. There we go. It is the Asus 24-inch full HD monitor. Normally, this thing is about $120. Right now, just $79.99. And there's a lot to love about this monitor. It is it's not a super high refresh rate monitor. It does have 120 hertz refresh rate listed. IPS full HD monitor. So again, you're not talking about incredible graphics, but a great solid basic monitor, or an excellent option as a secondary monitor. Because if you're like me, I have 3 monitors going at all times, and I have multiple windows in each monitor because my ADHD is unchecked. But having a second monitor is just also very, very helpful. And having a low cost option like this makes it very, very attainable. I would also point out this has a 1 millisecond MPRT response time, very, very responsive monitor, and has the Asus exclusive Game Plus hotkey, which gives you crosshair, timer, FPS counter, and display alignment functions automatically through the monitor itself. Something I thought we'd do a little different this time is take you through some of the reviews. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. It has 4.4 out of 5 eggs on newegg.com. I'll let you, we'll bring the reviews up. You guys can pause if you want to read them in more detail, or you can go to the product page, which will be linked. And all these reviews are taken directly from the product page. They are all from verified purchasers. So we know these aren't people just going on and rating bombing anything. Not that I got that many bad reviews, but they're not review bombing it. They're not review bumping it. These are guaranteed certified purchases. Almost all positive. A few that had some issues. One with the color, and then I think another person, with the viewing angle. The color, I would say, is a fair consideration, but since I only saw it one time, I don't know how.
It's interesting because the viewing angle on IPS monitors are typically known as one of the best viewing angles.
That's one of the benefits of
yeah,
an IPS monitor.
And so I wonder what happened with him.
I'm not sure. And, you also have to consider there are, in any production process, when you're making thousands, nay, millions of products, some of them are going to come off the line malfunctioning or not functioning to 100% of their capability. If you want a really interesting read, you should find out how 5090, 5070, 5080, and 5060 chips are differentiated, because the chips aren't made thinking this will be a chip for a 5090. It's made, and however good it turns out depends on which tier it goes into.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wild to me. But that just goes to show you there are lemons in any production process. Most of the reviews in this are sparkling. Most of them are 5 egg reviews, and most of them say for the price, it's a great monitor. And most of those people are probably talking about the standard price, which is $120, whereas right now you can get it for about 1/3 off for just $79.99.
That's great. And Newegg is a verified vendor for Asus, and so you're going to be covered for the warranty for about a couple years.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you ever have problems with any of the products that you get from Newegg, let us know. Contact customer service immediately. The faster you contact us, the better we're going to be able to help you. So anytime that you get a product from Newegg, test it immediately and contact us immediately if anything is wrong with that. Our customer service is actually really, really well respected and works really, really hard. I happen to know some people who take care of our customers, and they work hard. I don't take care of customers. I do work hard.
All right, and next up we have our user circuit.
Okay, do you want to kick us off here?
All right, Andrew Rodriguez, 7956. Handsome gentleman talking about some handsome deals. Well, you can get yours for $79 for the Asus 24-inch monitor.
Or you can save 15% off Nightreign. He is not touchable. I would know, I've tried.
Intangible David Lee.
The intangible I forgot that's how I introduced you. Yeah, no, it's just like he's intangible. Stone Cold is invisible. No, not Stone Cold. Who can't you see? John Cena. It's John Cena.
Ba, ba, da, ba.
Here's my question. How do they know? They can't see him. How do they know it's John Cena? Are they just guessing and sometimes they get lucky? Speaking of can't see me, nice transparent case, says Kathleen Sue.
I think that's how you say it, Sue.
Kathleen, if I was wrong, let me know.
Felipe Silva says, we're back. Another GPU, the 9060 XT. We are getting spoiled this year. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
yes, we are.
GPUs raining from heaven. Read and Respawn says, I miss Vivi. I also miss Vivi, but she's maybe not gone forever. The future's a big place. Never count her out. She's a scrappy lady.
Andy Hernandez SH3 P says Newegg is so back. Oh my gatos.
Oh my gatos. Mega Maths Ject. Oh my god. Mega Maths Ject, is that a Final Fantasy X reference? Because oh my god, we're best friends now. Let's go, Newegg, new me. We are so back. It's right, Mega Maths.
The Elden post says, I have a 2K monitor and sometimes I wish it had dual mode so I can maximize FPS with competitive games. Well, so do I. So do I.
And then Razir wrote us a short novel. Leon Lee's 011 Vision was probably the closest thing to a fully transparent case, but it had a solid back panel. The rat's nest of cables is usually the part people want to cover. The biggest hurdle preventing manufacturers from making their cases modular is obviously cost. Having to store a bunch of inventory for different SKUs would be financially untenable. This is the sort of thing that you're likely to find at a boutique that creates their products on a made-to-order basis. Putting a badge on the case is like putting a sticker on a Ferrari. Ruins the entire aesthetic. It's kind of what I was thinking about that. Remember, we were talking about the cases and you could get the badge on it. Most of the wood-themed cases on the market just have wooden accents on the front panel. I want to see an entire case constructed out of wood, but it'll probably cost an arm and a leg, or at least a tree. At what point does the refresh rate reach a point of diminishing returns? This is kind of what we were talking about. How fast can it go before it's so fast that it doesn't matter to our eyes because our eyes aren't good enough to see that difference?
I wonder what like our eyes like FPS is, you know?
No, I've wanted like what resolution is our natural vision? Doesn't really work that way, but I've seen things that said effectively if you're wearing a VR headset, a 2K in each lens is approximate to our natural vision.
I have a friend who was a valedictorian for optometry. I gotta ask her next week.
Come back for more exciting answers. 4K gaming is out of the reach of the vast majority of people. Even those with flagship GPUs can't get consistent frame rates on every AAA game with the settings maxed because of how demanding it is. 2K is the sweet spot, although 1080p is still the most common resolution according to Steam Hardware Survey. Great information, Razir. Thank you for sharing that. The 9060 XT's Achilles heel is the 8 gig variant. AMD is peddling the same narrative as Nvidia about gamers not needing more than 8 gigs of VRAM at 1080p when their unspoken motive is to cut costs by deceiving people. Corporate espionage, or maybe I'm just playing Cyberpunk right now.
Have you finished?
No, God, no. I'm not. I do everything. I crawl every inch of everything. I find everything I can. And when I find out I missed something, I get mad. And if I can, I go back. All right. Tell us about these games. Some of them are very, very familiar to me, and others I've never played once in my life. Although I had a friend who was nationally ranked in Gwent. Excuse me, internationally ranked.
Oh, wow. Gwent. Internationally. I didn't know they had international tournaments.
Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I just think it's international because he moved to Portugal.
So, in card games, RNGesus has been a very widely debated topic because you make a deck and you're like, oh, I get to use all these cards exactly when I want. No, you don't. No, you don't. And Hearthstone was the one that really brought to the forefront of RNG because they're like, they're one of the first card games to really go big where they realized we're not just like a physical card game, we're a digital card game. So we're going to go do digital card game things.
Okay.
And so you would use Magic Missile and it would randomly hit like anybody on the map, right? And you're like, you can't really do that in like a physical card game, right? And so people would pray to RNG, but like it's not really fair, right?
I mean, fair, it depends on how you measure fair, right? Like if fair is a variable like you do in physics or in chemistry and things like that, then so long as everyone is subject to the same RNG, it's fair. You can choose to build your deck into or around it if you want to, but so long as everyone playing is playing by the same rules, I think it's a kind of fair.
You think I can see why you say that, But like, what if in a game you do everything statistically correct? Like, there is no other option for you to do this and then still lose.
What if you go to Vegas and you play, you hold on a 16 and they don't bust, or like, you know what I mean? Like there's always, that's why it's a game, right? Like if there were a statistically proven correct way to play chess, the game would be over because everyone would just be playing that.
Right.
But there's not. Um there's variables, and in that game the variables are all just between the two players, but that's not every game. I mean, I think there's lots of games out there that have an element of RNG to them. I mean, think about uh think about any game out there that has things like 25% chance to redirect damage back to your opponent, right? That's a variable. That's a variant, and it's theoretically the same variable for everyone. And you can stack mod things to modify that number. But so long as the deciding factor is consistent, so long as it's using the same randomizer to make those decisions every time for everyone, seems fair to me.
I don't know. I kind of have a hard time with it, but like if you had the same game, like you said in chess, like where you played the statistically the best move over and over again, you'd have the same game. And so you want to add variety, which is what RNG and randomness does. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sucks a little if you change the way a card works in person versus online. I would be more into it if they added cards that had RNG into digital that didn't exist in the physical world. But again, so long as it's consistent across everyone, it seems like at least an even playing field.
Broken for me and it's broken for you. It's fair. It's broken for everyone.
It's fair.
It's
It may not
fair.
be right. It may not be optimal, but it's fair. That would be my take on that. Let us know what you think down below. Is RNG in card games like this cheating? Does it take away from the strategy and experience of these card games? I want to hear from you. All right, we got to get into the user circuit with some really crazy builds. You guys went off this time. From our friend who I believe actually commented on who we grabbed a comment from. This is Pointer's build, and you can see they put a pretty powerful GPU into a pretty old, a pretty old case.
Yeah, I thought it was the funniest thing when this was submitted to us and I saw it, because that GPU really didn't fit in that case.
Pointer made the comment, had to make do with the sketchy Amazon attachments. Definitely will be using proper tools in the future. 'Twas a learning experience, and thankfully no limbs were lost, but a huge mess was made. But a cool build was also made. So I think I love a retro build, and I love a sleeper build, and I do love the idea of like someone like putting this down at like a BYOPC event, like setting it down and then like turning it around and you see the GPU in it. And you're like, oh no, what's coming for me?
It's like when you have like that old buggy from like the 1960s or 70s. I don't know when it was made. And then you put like this modern like engine in it.
Yeah.
And the first time you turn it on, it goes vroom, and you're like, oh.
It's like coming to the NASCAR race in a horse-drawn carriage, but then the horses, like, they get rockets, like, come out of the side, and you're like, oh, no. Rocket horse. All right, Pointer, great build.
Hey.
More of it. All right, and this is from our friend who commented. This is Reed and Respawn's entire gaming setup, which I love. I love the monitor setup, that 2-monitor setup there. I love your rig, and I love all your collectibles.
Yeah, this person definitely has a ton of collectibles all around. My question with those like monitors, like at a 90-degree angle, is like, wouldn't your neck kind of hurt after a second, just like turning it left and right?
No, you got to learn to play like this. So this eye's tracking that monitor, and this eye's tracking that monitor, and you're fine.
I've yet to learn those skills. You got to teach me after the show.
I got to tell you, I haven't done that in a minute, and it hurt. It hurt a little bit. It hurt. I wasn't sure I was going to go back to normal. Read and Respawn, a beautiful gaming setup. And I like all those controllers there. I see the PlayStation controller. Is that a Nintendo Pro controller?
That is a Nintendo Pro controller. I want to know which one you prefer to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you gaming on your PC with that PlayStation controller, and how? And how is it working for you? I want to know. All right, everybody. That is our episode for another week. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you follow Tech Circuit on Blue Sky and Twitter, or on Acast and Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. We're Tech Circuit Podcast, or you can find us on YouTube at Newegg Studios. You'll see us there. Next week, we'll have lots of more content for you and more great builds from you. I'm Ben Tibbles.
I'm David Lee.
This has been Tech Circuit. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.